Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, Mopars.com. It is Mopar Monday, it is 5.9 Magnum Monday, that's right. Just revisited these. These are something that I brought in way back at the end of the year Carlyle tool sale. Sort of was going through my, still am actually going through my stored organization kick. And these were a huge disappointment to me because I thought they were to be designed to mount like this. You could use them flat, obviously, but I thought they would also work vertically. They'll hang vertically until you put a certain number of wrenches in them, and then they drop down. All right? So I was pretty ticked off about that, but I've just completed the revisit of the product. We kind of understand it better. We showcased it. It's a pretty sweet little setup when you actually know what its limitations are, and it also makes sense when you have this. So the Carlyle tool stuff, I believe almost all of it is for mechanics time savers. Some I think is not, but the majority is, including that. That thing is 45 bucks. You need a big sale for Carlyle, you know, Napa, to justify buying that. You can get it for $35 at Mechanics Time Savers. That is the same price you can get this from Mechanics Time Savers. This is their LAW 12B. This is the locker wrench. So we've showcased their socket rails. We've showcased the friction peg socket holders. We showcased the lock socket rails and the labeled lock socket rails. Think of this locker wrench, the LAW 12B, as their sort of lock socket for wrenches, right? So as you can see there, twist one to lock them all. It's kind of going to be a key deal, sort of like your VHA you know, X key holders and stuff, right? You got the magic adjustments on them. This right here, their own description, this 12-piece wrench holder requires a simple twist of one wrench to lock or unlock the entire set. Magnetic backing allows this vertical organizer. That's key. Vertical. This, if you want to go vertical on the side of your roll cart, this is what you want. Not that. Don't make the mistake I did, thinking that can be used vertically, because it cannot. Well, it can, just not with wrenches, right? So anyway, back to this. You can use it vertically to conveniently attach to almost any steel surface. It was designed to hold and secure a variety of wrenches, SAE or metric. Something cool about Mechanics Time Savers, if you did not know, they are in the DFW area in Carrollton, so very cool. Not terribly far from me, so that's nice. But what I want to do now is this. Oddly enough, that's pulling through the mat. This is a thick workbench mat, if you were unaware. And what did I do with the cuttix? There it is. So, did a blade change on this thing. I was seeing what all would fit, you know, from other manufacturers. And we'll see how these do. Haven't cut too terribly much with this blade, but burning the midnight oil with the cuttix there. So let's see here. This, I should mention, is available in red. I don't think they've got any other colors in this. So right here, their own packaging showcases the red for you. It would be cool to see this in other colors. Orange, green, you know the drill. All right, at least I think so. Now, pretty excited about this one. I don't have any prior experience in this regard, so if we take a gander, get that off, I'm assuming it would mount like this, because that would keep the Mechanics Time Saver logo, which is located right there above the P in Mopar, oriented properly, right? So it should mount vertically like this. Now, unfortunately, I have tons of wrenches out and none of them are here. So what do we have that we could dumb this down? Maybe this file might be a little big. It's probably not the best idea I've ever had. And okay, it actually does work. So this is a file, and it's probably not something you want to put with something plastic, but I just locked this, right? So this isn't coming out. Now if I twist it back this direction, everything there, look, pay attention to any of them. We'll just go with the one above my thumb. When I turn this file, it's going to cause a chain reaction. Everything's going to shift. Obviously, if you haven't figured it out yet, this is keyed in the sense that the wrench is trying to come out here and there's an obstruction. So when we turn it back this way, you can come out forward where the slot is. Simple concept, right? Now, what I'm going to do is run you over to the US General. I've left the Capris over there in the SAE version of that one, and we're going to populate this sucker, and we're going to hang it, and we're going to see if it stays up or goes down. And what I'm going to do, like, it's 12 wrenches. We'll get over there. That's what we're going to do. And if I don't do it the first time on our big finale, I'm going to start with the 1 inch and go down. So we're going to see if it'll hold it up. The other thing that could be a problem, straight up, not going to lie or mislead people, if you have funky offsets or just like a big box end on a certain ratcheting wrench, there's a chance, if this isn't out far enough, obviously, you know, it's going to be dictated here by the magnet. You can't bring it out on this axis any farther. There is a chance some box ends could interfere, but we'll figure that out as we step over to the US General. For comparison's sake, since it's still here populated, I've got everything else cleaned up, put back where it goes. But this is the SAE rack. We've got quarter all the way up to 1 inch with a space holder for 11/32. And this is the lay flat one. Again, this thing is not at all capable of holding these wrenches vertically. So if you love these size markers, you're going to want it to lay flat in the drawer as opposed to the locker wrench we just grabbed. The other thing, I'm going to highlight this for you. Pay attention to these big wrenches. I'll keep my hand over here about 5/8 in the middle. As I pick this up, you're going to see these start to swivel. See that 3/4 doing it, the others haven't because they're touching the ground or the drawer. So as I pick them up, like, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That's about to be a catastrophic drop. So I'm gonna drop the camera and sort these wrenches up. Alright, same setup as last time. Pay no attention to that. I tried something different. I always do the paper towel holders, you know, like parallel with the floor. I did this one horizontal. And kind of like it, plus it's right by the door, so it's super convenient. What I'm going to do, though, I want you to be present when this sucker goes down against the box. Try not to smash my fingers here. It's kind of one of those things, wish I had 2 hands, right? So, I'll have to pull that off now, unfortunately. So, liked the position. It was almost perfect, I have to say. I'll probably have to move this thing too. Let's get that out of the way. And there it is. So again, you've got 12 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It does look like it's going to be sorted in the manner I would prefer. And what I mean by that is if you pay attention to these keys, it's like they get bigger as we go, or at least that's certainly what it looks like, right? So that would be like your 1 inch, this would be your 1/4 inch. And what I'm gonna do is we'll just grab them and I'm gonna start populating and we're gonna see what happens. Alright, so I started small. This is 1/4 through 7/8. The 15/16 and 1 inch are still off in the other drawer. And it wasn't until we got to the final two, the 13/16 and the 7/8, where I felt like we were hitting the sidewall of the box. So what I want to do is see if we can turn this. It actually worked and it looks pretty cool. This might not be the best choice of wrench to turn, the smallest one, right? So basically the way this would work, if we needed, say, our beloved 9/16, we're gonna hop in and we slide it out. Put it back in, just like so. Let me see if I can hold the camera left-handed and come in here and grab the 7/8. So it comes out pretty easy. Now listen as this goes in. We're kind of sort of hitting the box there, twisting. That locks them in place. So now if I want the 9/16, it's trying to walk out, but it can't because, again, it needs to be oriented right there to slide out. So the main thing, though, to take away is this is actually holding all of the wrenches, which is huge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these two guys. We're going to get rid of the 1/4 and the 5/16, and we're basically going to go 3/8 to 1 inch. And we are going to see if it will hold. I have a feeling it will. I mean, this doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Where this is going to be great two places. Number one, on the side of a roll cart, and number two, on the lid of a roll cart. Obviously, that's another place you would go vertically, particularly if you lock up. If it's like a 24-hour deal and you do, 12-hour shifts or something, you don't want Joe Schmo from the second shift grabbing your wrenches. You need to lock your box, right? If you're constantly using them, this becomes a very, very nice option. So what I'm going to do, though, we want to see, is there interference with the 15/16 and the 1-inch. Now, that's pushing it. I think most people are probably going to cap out, like in the traditional 8 to 19 or, 1/4 to 7/8 type of a deal. But we want to know. We've got to push it to the limit. So we're going to move everything down this way and see what we can. All right, so again, I'm going to try to keep the camera as steady as I can, sitting on a creeper seat against the door. And I've shifted everything down. I have got the 15/16. Hard to see, but I think you can tell. I can tell you basically 3/4 and up. I sort of start, if you're not careful, you will ram into the side of the box. 15/16 fits, and it does. If you look down this line, you can kind of see the gap, and it's not necessarily that we bottomed out there or the box end. It's just we're really, really close, and you're probably going to hit on both fronts as you push the wrench in. So it's sort of like a friction, sort of like almost a roller of sorts. This is the big 1-inch. You can see the size there. So we're going to make sure you can actually see what's going on. Right there, she's in. So what we're going to do, we'll come in. This is the 11/16, it's sort of the middle wrench. We're going to take it. You should see everything turn in unison. Beautiful. And they are now locked. So in theory, you would obviously, if you're using this on the sidewall of a roll cart or your lid and you're going from A to B in the shop, you want these locked. That's going to be a little bit extra insurance. I'm thinking they're stiff enough you wouldn't run a risk of them coming back, sort of unlocking from motion. It's a very, very positive, opening and closing. Like there's some effort required to make that happen, which is a good thing. You want that to be the case. But right here, if I kind of bring you down against the sidewall, you can see there's just so little clearance. And then just if I tap these, like that's the sidewall, we're hitting the sidewall. From, I'd say 13/16 up, pretty respectable. 3/4 and 13/16, you will probably be running it into the side of your box. Not a huge deal. I do want to also point out, talking about the side of the box, this is smooth, right? This is, I guess, a powder coated finish. If you have like a heavy texture on your box, if you've done some custom stuff to it, anything thick or coating related, you could impact the magnetic capabilities. If it's paint or powder coat, I think you're going to be fine. But again, like if you've sat here and you've slathered like 2 decades of truck bed liner on, might want to try it before you populate it with wrenches, right? Kind of what I'm getting at. So similar thing here, like if you love this, if this is what you're going to do, but you also care about the finish of your box, whether you're planning to trade it in a couple of years and want max value, whether it's just, hey, this is an interim thing until I get set up or situated in a different manner, be leery of that. Maybe you want to put, like some felt or some Velcro, or maybe you don't care. You're just exercise extra caution. It's totally up to you, but it is the small concern. Like right here, this 9/16, I mean, I could pull that out and put it in all day, and I don't think I'd ever ram into the box. But we come over here to the 15/16. I think you heard it as I pulled it. Let me shut up now so you can listen. So pressing it in, I kept the open end away, but I rammed the boxed end there into it. But the biggest thing I can tell you is I do have 1-inch, 15/16, 7/8, so on and so on here, and they're able to fully open and close, which is cool. So I would think most of you would be content with that size range. Obviously, 1.25 inches down, I think, would cover lots of things outside of like heavy equipment, and construction type stuff. Depends on what you're doing in your industry, I suppose. But for the average Joe, like 3/4 hardware and smaller is probably a legitimately fair cutoff point. So I think these would work. Obviously, you could bush this out. You'd have to have some good magnets to do that. I personally wouldn't want to do it. But like if you were going 1/4 to 7/8, I don't think you're going to have any issues at all. So this is a super cool product. Again, the only way it could be better is if there were labels. That's one thing that little vertical guy, horizontal man, whatever we want to call him. Let me just roll on over and grab it. Kind of highlight the differences for you. If I slap him on right there, again, it holds decently, but I mean, you can tell once you get some weight, she's gonna go. This is sort of the trade-off, right? So you've got these awesome size markers. Some will hate them, some will love them, but they're not present at all here. Now, to be totally fair, these are actually spaced very well. I think you can even see it. Like, I mean, I can come in and easily see these sizes. Like, they're very legible, very visible. You hit them with a paint pen, make it even more so. I suppose if you printed labels or you just even wrote with a Sharpie, you know, you could be like 3/8, 7/16, half, and just kind of know where it went, right? To each their own. Obviously, the reason Mechanics Time Savers are doing this, they don't know what you're putting in here. They don't know what sizes of wrenches you use. Some people might have like 4 9/16 wrenches, all right? Sounds crazy, but if you use a lot of 3/8 hardware, maybe you've got like the crazy offset, maybe you've got a 12-point and a 6-point and a ratcheting, who knows, right? So I think that's their logic. If we could take this and sort of hybridize them, take the magnet of this one, take the locking of this one, take the size labels of this one, that would be cool. Obviously, this one is designed to be vertical, this one is designed to be horizontal, but if we could sort of combine those, that would be awesome. Again, the lock-a-socket rails with the labels you can pop on and off, that's kind of the cream of the crop for like the MTS style socket organization. I think it would be kind of hard to do, but like if they put a little, I mean, just imagine, and it would drive the cost up and people probably wouldn't pay for it. Some of us would, most people wouldn't. But like picture like a little boss right here and then just a pre-printed plastic label that you would like slide in. So if I start at 9/16 and go to 2.5 inches, I can do it. You know, if we want to go from like 3/16 to 9/16, we can make that happen too. So but this is sort of where they stand. This one, you're not going to use it like this. It's going to need to be flat, and once you know and understand that, and spend your money knowing that this is how that should be oriented, I think people will be content with it. This one, though, is what you want if you want to go vertical. Downside, you're kind of giving up the size markers. But if you go direct to MTS, you can get both of these for $34.99. If you go through Napa, wait for a sale of some sort, preferably a big one, maybe a bucket sale even, because they want $45 for this. I'm pretty sure they would have this, probably a slightly different blue, maybe it's branded or something for Carlyle, but again, if it costs more, I would just go direct to MTS in this case. But anywho, I'm gonna quit rambling, get inside, make myself some chicken, probably come back out here and mess around with the truck a little bit. But yeah, this is two pretty solid options. Just depends on what you're wanting to do. Case in point, again, a lot of you might prefer these and have them in your drawers, but like if you've got your go-to wrenches, a smorgasbord of SAE and metric, slather them where they're easy to get to. You do what's best for you. And these are two options that will help you organize and sort your tools to hopefully be more productive and efficient. But with that said, I will quit rambling. I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a little something. LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I could go throw this on the roll cart and see if it comes off. Truth be told, the shop is packed, and I would just have to be going up and down the same 3 to 4 feet of concrete. Yeah, so we'll call it good here. But gotta say, I am a fan. This one, now that I'm not super ticked off because it doesn't hold vertically because it wasn't designed to, I think that's actually pretty solid as well. So anyway, if you want to go horizontal and like size markers, that's what you want. If you want to go vertical, this is what you want in terms of your Mechanics Time Savers options. So have yourself a great rest of the week. I hope I catch you back here Saturday for some tool action, and Wednesday when we do tool organization or something automotive related. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you back for more from the shop.